Hello folks and welcome back to Rome Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 6 of my Barbarian invasion campaign where I'm playing as the Sassanids. And in the last episode I made a pretty substantial breakthrough, I suppose, into the Roman territories by taking Antioch and Sinope, so that feels very good. I was very trepidatious going into that last episode. I was so nervous. I didn't know where this campaign was going. I was poor. And I wasn't sure I was going to find an opportunity to even take Antioch, but I was sort of able to weasel it out, and that's good. It's a really good step. It really is. But I have to sort of remind myself and stop myself from getting too far ahead of myself here, because the reality is I have yet to deal the Romans any sort of substantial blow when it comes to their military forces. I didn't really have to fight too much of their military in the taking of either Antioch or Sinope, which is good. Like, that's a good thing, right? But that means that I still haven't really beaten them, really. Unless they've sent a lot of their forces out west to deal with other threats, maybe. But I can't be sure because I'm so blind to what is going on. I just don't have enough vision on their troop movements. So the reality is, in my heart of hearts, I still think that the Roman armies are just better than mine, and I'm rather scared of facing them on the open field. Now, I think that maybe what I can do, I'm hoping that I can sort of sucker them into attacking me in these strongholds. You know, Antioch with its epic stone walls, even Sinope with its basic stone walls. That seems like a better option to me, to fight Romans that way. Just because their army is currently, as I said, I think they're still better than mine. Now, can I start to train better soldiers now that I have Antioch? Yes, I can. I can finally now train Clibinari. Sure, I did start the campaign with a few Clibinari here and there and a few armies, and I have the Clibinari Immortals being my general's units. But now I can actually train Clibinari. It takes 2 turns. Okay, I guess I should have expected that. So that feels very good. And as I was saying in the last episode, I was thinking about building the elite cavalry stables here in Antioch. That allows me to train cataphracts and armored camel riders and Clibinari Immortals, so I can train general's units, which is very cool. That is very, very tempting. And if you happen to be watching this guide looking for tips and tricks on your own Sassanid campaign or the Sassanid campaign, oh, first off, bless your heart and Godspeed. Hope it's going okay. Secondly, if you're looking for like a good advice, I would say you should probably do this. You should probably get the elite cavalry stables here in Antioch. I'm saying that because that's probably not what I'm gonna do. Sure, it's smarter. It's smarter to do that. Antioch is on my front lines, and I need good troops here faster. However, I want the fun stuff and I want my fun toys. And I'm speaking, of course, about my elephants that I can eventually get here in Ctesiphon. Now, I have to build the cavalry stables, that is the tier 2 cavalry stables. I don't have that here. So I can't even train Clibinari until I build this. This is going to take 4 turns to do this. But then I can build the tier... I think I just need the tier 4. Let me double check this. Where? So yeah, it's the elite cavalry stables. Got it. Yeah. Okay. The good news is that by building this, it's cheaper. The elite cavalry stables cost 4,800, so saves me a bit of money. Now, of course, I do plan on building that eventually here and also here. So I do plan on getting it. So yeah, 4 turns. Okay. Yeah, I want to get it. I want elephants. This is the only faction in Barbarian Invasion that can train elephants. So if I miss my shot and I don't get to, get elephants in this campaign, that's it. No more elephants. Just done. Boom. No elephants. No fun. And I want to have fun here, so I'm going to try to get those elephants going. Now, that also goes for other things. I want to get camels going, although now, yeah, I can get camels out here. That's cool. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, there's a camel resource, and as I showed you, I can get the camel riders and the armored camel riders and stuff, so I can get camels here in Antioch. That's cool. I like that. I like that. But then also I do need to get my infantry barracks built up in my core settlements so that I can get those Sogdian warriors. Let me remind myself here. In Hatra, I'm looking for camels. I don't think there's any camels in this settlement. So let me remind myself. I know I already went over this, so apologize for making you guys have to suffer, but let me see. Okay, so I can get camels here in Hatra. Interesting. So I don't know. I probably just get Sogdians, honestly. Knowing now that I can get camels in Antioch, but I'm assuming that I can't get Sogdians here. I think that's only in my core territories. Yeah, just levy spears, levy spears. So I can just get Sogdians in my core territories. Okay, yeah, that changes the plan then. I do want to get Sogdians in Hatra. I know I can get them up here as well, but why? You know, if I can get camels here and Sogdians here, that's perfect. I probably should still build them up somewhere else, like Arctic Sarta, perhaps. Just because they do take 2 turns to train, I think. So that's probably the way to go. But do I want that now? I think it's better to get the Royal Road, honestly. 2,400 to build. It's not going to give me a lot more money, 415 to 607. So not quite 200, but that's a chunk. More importantly though, like this is my highway. This is like my highway between, you know, Ctesiphon and the front lines. And the faster that I can move troops from here to here, the better. So yeah, getting that Royal Road going is going to be pretty important. And I could build a Royal Road up here in Fraspa as well, which I should. I have 14,000 in the bank from all that exterminating. I think I did exterminate, didn't I? 6,000 people left in Antioch. Yeah, that looks like a post-extermination level. And then 2,900 in Sinop. Yeah, same. So I think that's all blood money that I'm looking at there. Yeah, getting a Royal Road in Fraspa. Again, it's not like a ton of money, but just being able to move around faster just feels good. 255 to 385. Yeah, it's okay. It's a chunk. It's a chunk of money. And I'd probably just call it there. I don't know if there's anything else too crucial. I can't make money off this port here in Arsake because there's no one for me to trade with. Arctic Sarta, is there anything that's really jumping out to me? Nothing really jumps out right now. I could reduce corruption by building a Zoroastrian large temple, but not my most pressing concern. I'm building a mine here in Kotais, the upgraded mine. Yeah, upgraded mine. Yep, that's pretty cool. And then down here in Demantha, I'm tempted. Trader, it's like no money to get the trader. I'd be making, what, 128 to 139. So I'd be making 11 denarii per turn by building this. But I get that 0.5 population growth bonus, and I'll take that. Go from 2% to 2.5% population growth, and try to get up that large town level as soon as possible. Just so that we can train stuff here. I would probably just do like a the stables so that I can get the nomad archer people and just train them from here. Yeah, it's a far ways away, but you know, they're calves, so they can make up the distance. And that way I'm like getting Sogdians, elephants, camels here in Antioch, nomad archer cav in Demantha, maybe Sogdians in Arctic Sarta. Maybe, can I get camels somewhere else up here? I thought that I could. But yeah, I'll look more into that later on, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Now, when it comes to what I'm doing here and now, see, I thought that I had an assassin targeting that diplomat, but apparently I called him off so that I could spy. That was an interesting choice. So I did that, eh? I called him off so that I could get information. I guess that's a choice that I made. And the Eastern Romans have put my fort under siege here. And I'm tempted to take this fight. Obviously not with, you know, these guys, but by bringing guys from out from Antioch. I am very tempted, just because I would rather kill these guys here while they're not being reinforced by this half stack right here. That would be my preference. Can I get some better information here? Can I find out? I feel like that didn't tell me. Did that tell me anything I didn't know already? So 3 Legio Lanciari, 4 Limitani, and 2 Hippotoxeti. And then 6 mystery units. So they could be Comitatenses. I just don't know. I wonder. I've seen it where, like, you kind of just move around, you get better vision on stuff. Maybe not.
I obey.
Looks like I'm just see the same stuff. Okay. Alright, that's okay then. Let's just pop up here. Now, the question's gonna be, can I take troops from Antioch? And the way that this works, I think, it's been a while. I did this in my, you know, my Rome campaigns, playing as the Julii. So it's been a while since I've done this, but I'm pretty sure the way this works is that I would... So I have some troops right here, and I think that they would be in reinforcement range. They're right next to the fort. I think it's as close as I can get them to the fort. So I would be merging in with this little army right here with whatever I can bring from Antioch. And then I would be sallying out with this levy spearman, and then these guys would be coming in as reinforcements. Now, it's going to be very important that I make sure that I'm controlling those reinforcements, because I did have it happen in one of my first battles in my Julii campaign where I messed it up. I thought that I, you know, was going to be controlling my reinforcements, and it was all AI controlled. And I had like a ton of generals, I had a ton of characters in that early army. And luckily the AI was able to win that battle, but I lost like 3 generals. So there's like a lot. It was so bad. They just charged right on in against Warband with their spears, and it was so brutal. So obviously don't want that to happen with my faction leader and Narcissus. Narcissus, is that his son, maybe? Yeah. So maybe, I mean, what I could do perhaps is to leave one of them back here in Antioch. I would be tempted to leave him, actually. He has the 2 influence. He has a lot of stuff that increases tax income, so that's good for Antioch, right? Now, Narcissus doesn't offer anything as a leader. He offers +1 command when defending walls, but that's not going to help any. So that's, you know, yeah, that's tough. And, I mean, Shapur and his 48-man bodyguard unit, that's very valuable as well, so he might be worth bringing anyway. Does Narcissus have any influence? He has 1 influence, so we can help boost the public order of the settlement by a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Now, I did notice, this is clutch. The fact that these guys actually could merge with this army here right now, that's pretty dope. So, a 40-man Clibinari unit, and then 2 slightly, you know, 1 more banged up Nomad Archer Cav, and then 1 slightly banged up. That's clutch, I think. What about you guys? Where can you go? Nowhere? So you just reach Tatra on this turn? That's fine. That's fine. So let's do this then. Let's get you guys, and let's get you there. And then the 18-man Camel Raiders, let's just get you guys to Antioch, since I can retrain stuff here. And then... oh, there's camels right there. Well, I'm going to be taking out a bunch of stuff, so let's take you out and bring you in.
Orders?
Okay, and then let's see, what do they have here again? It's so at least 2 Hippotoxeti, 4 Limitani, and 3 Legio Lanciari. And these are like a more dedicated, tougher spearman unit than the Limitani. They're like an upgraded Limitani. This is kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, they have better... Their melee attack is better by 1. And their missile attack is better by 1 as well. Oh, he has upgrades, that's why. I was like wondering what was going on there. Because usually it's 2. Usually they have better melee attack and missile attack by 2. Their charge bonus is usually 1 better. Yeah, that's accurate. In defense, 18 compared to 19. So again, yeah, this is supposed to be 17, but again, he has the upgrades. And then they do have, I would imagine, I haven't double checked this in the game files, but I do imagine that they do have a bonus versus Cav. It doesn't say that here, but they have the light spears is kind of what this looks like here, which gives them a +4 versus Cav instead of the +8. So it's still, you know, they are a spear unit. They are. They just don't have like the, you know, the real spear. Yeah, I wonder in Barbarian Invasion, because there's no like phalanx units in this campaign, which is kind of a nice change of pace. So I'm wondering what units get that +8 versus Cav spear bonus. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see what we can take out of Antioch and get away with. Okay, on low taxes, we're at 105% public order when we keep Shapur there. And then we have Narcissus, 2 Klibinari, some camels, some Nomad Archer Cav, archers, not a lot of spears, the 2 spearmen and some javelins. Now I could train up some camel raiders, mercenary ballista, mercenary bucalari. I kind of want the bucalari just because they have that bonus versus armor. But I don't really need more missile troops. That's the tough thing. What I could use is some more spears. So we have 105%. I think I can afford to take you. So it's 95. So that dropped it by 10%. And then can we get away with one more? And the 75, 80%. Okay. Okay, it's tempting to keep pushing it, but let's leave it at that. And then, are we gonna train these guys up? Camel Raiders, is that a unit that's worth getting? I have to imagine there's some I don't know, are they archers? Is it Hippothoxatai? Is it Kimita-Tenseis? It really matters what the army comp is, and I do not know. You know? Those mystery units could be anything. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I brought too many guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we make some room here? Maybe leave the camels behind? That should work. Now, let's give this a shot and see what this looks like. So we sally out, and what are we looking at here? So they do have 2 units of those Eastern Archers, and then 2 Hippothoxatai. That's not that bad. There's 0 Kimita-Tenseis, there's 1 unit of peasants, and a lot of Limitani. So yeah, they're tanky units, but I think I'm gonna be okay here. They have 1,000 men. I have 1,450. Let's make sure that I am controlling this. It's very important, and I can't do a night attack? No, I cannot. I need that 4-star general to be able to do that. Well, here we are. We're in our fort. My unit of spearmen. My reinforcements should be coming in from back here. Hopefully they come in fast.
Are here, but will they be enough for final victory?
And are these guys... See, this is the turn that they set siege to this fort, so they don't have any siege equipment, do they? No, I don't think they do. So yeah, they can't even get in here, can they? I wonder if these towers can shoot at any of them. Maybe not. All right, let's get my guys formed up here. We are now all formed up and we are marching down this hill and we are advancing on the Romans. So we have our spears with my archers and my general in the middle, and then my left flank I got my slingers and my javelins backed up by my Clibinari. Right there. Something that I've been experimenting with is using light infantry on the flanks. Something that was done often historically, and it's something that I've been trying to like figure out in video game form. I know that, you know, I understand the meta is like, you know, just have your light infantry behind your spears. I get it. I understand, but I like to kind of see what this might look like, you know? It's just really fascinating to me because you just see it a lot in a lot of battles, like a lot of battles where it's just, you know, cav supported by light infantry on the flank. So it's a very common thing, you know? And it's something that, I don't know, it's hard to, at least for me, it's kind of hard to picture. Kind of hard to figure that out. But I've sort of, like in certain instances, I have like accidentally stumbled upon situations where, I don't know, like I remember playing, this is going way back, but playing my Irish campaign in the Viking Invasion expansion for Medieval Total War. And the Irish have a very jav-heavy faction, and it kind of like just worked really well when you just had javs rolling with cav, because anytime an enemy charged at your javs, you can just intercept them with cav, and then guess what? You have javs that are right there able to throw their javelins into the flanks or the rear of that cav unit that sort of just tried to chase them. So I found that just kind of really fluid, and it really kind of made sense. And I'm curious. I'm curious as to if I can, you know, make that work. I think it can be tough in this game just because things are so fast. Units move very quickly, and it can be very tough to react to enemies, you know, charging in. Like the thing is that historically cav units they weren't that fast. Like they trotted, you know, they were faster than people on foot. Of course they were. But they weren't charging full speed, you know. That's not what cav did historically. You were just the chances of you just falling off and dying and just hitting your head on something was very high if you just kind of charged around like that. So I typically they just kind of trotted around, and I think that lent itself to being able to be supported by infantry more easily, light infantry that is. And I think that there was a certain component of kind of how we see like infantry and armored divisions work together, you know, with tanks and armored infantry and armored vehicles. And the way that light infantry can kind of support the tanks and kind of work around buildings and stuff and clear out troops that could otherwise threaten those tanks. And then tanks can, of course, you know, protect provide cover and protection and firepower for the infantry as well. It kind of makes me think, like, is that sort of similar to how cav and light infantry could work together? I don't know. I'm just a guy trying stuff. Oh yeah, there's something that I wanted to comment on, just because some of you did join this channel just as I was making this campaign, so you might not have seen me comment on this in my other campaigns. It was interesting to me playing Rome for the first time, and it's still interesting to me that, so like, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but units do not fatigue if you just walk them, which is crazy to me, because in Shogun 1 and Medieval 1, units would fatigue if you walked them, and, you know, over long distances in the desert, through the snow, whatever. And the time that I noticed that, I was during one of my practice campaigns. I think I was playing as the Julii, and I had reinforcements coming on, and it was a siege battle. I was attacking, and it was in the snow, and I had to walk my guys all the way around the fort the long way so they wouldn't get shot. And I just had the one battering ram, so I just had to like go through the one entrance. And it was very tedious. It took a very long time, and I expected my guys to be exhausted, and I expected to have to wait until they recovered their fatigue, their stamina. And I noticed, I was like, wait, they're still fresh. And it was a long walk. It was the entire map that they had just covered, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Do units not have, do they not fatigue in this game if they walk? That's crazy to me. That is so wild. It's, you know, it's kind of, it's neat. Oh shit, I didn't notice this terrain over here. Okay, not the best terrain for a light cav push. And that's kind of what I was counting on, actually. I was kind of counting on pushing on this flank, just because on this flank I am lined up across from their Legio Lanciari. Looks like they have 1 unit of Legio Lanciari in the middle, and then 2 units on this side, which is not what my cav want to go up against. But I guess, you know, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, looks like they know it too. That's interesting. They know, they get it. So yeah, they're going in. They're going in with their dudes. Oh, nope, they're pulling back. They're pulling back. And yeah, I thought I was going to support with my center because I saw that push happening. So let's do that. Let's kind of posture like this. Huh. I do want to push on this side. I just feel like, you know, my 5 horse archers can outtrade their 1 Hepatoxatide, despite the fact that he has, you know, better armor. That's kind of the matchup that I prefer. I think that would give me, yeah, I think that's my in. So let's go for it. Let's start to have my guys run around, because give us a bit more agency on the battlefield. And yeah, get your shots in, boys. Get your shots in. Tear down those. Tear them down. Tear them down. They want to send peasants up. I don't want you waste my. I don't want to waste anything. Do they have archers? They do have Eastern archers. Fine. Just clear out those peasants. Are you guys shooting at them? You should be. All right. Let's just stop doing that. And let's back up. Yeah. Let's not. I don't want to get charged by them. I'd rather use my. You guys, come on, shoot him, please, shoot him. And Limitani are coming forward, so let's just cut back here. Let's do this. And anything happening up here? Not really, but if are we shooting at those Limitani? We are. Perfect. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Are we doing anything to this Hepatoxatide? They have 36 men left. All right, whatever. We can shoot it. We can shoot at Limitani. That's fine. That's what we're gonna do anyway. So yeah, they have a lot of Limitani. Let's just kind of flank them here and just get some flanking shots in. They have 53 guys left. Yeah. All right. And then you guys continue to skirmish with those Hepatoxatide up there, and yep, just continue to get back. And there's the break. All right. So you guys just turn your shooting off for a minute, because units in this game do continue to shoot at units that are fleeing, which is something that I had to get used to. I lost a lot of men, and I'm going to continue to lose a lot of men to that, because it's hard. It's hard to get used to the fact that guys. Again, I'm getting shot by their Eastern archers. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another big difference between Mid 1 and Shogun 1 between those games and this game, is that in those games, units won't shoot at fleeing units. Which is kind of nice, actually, because you don't have to worry about turning fire at will on and off. Yeah, let's bait out another Limitani? Absolutely, yes. Let's do that. And are we gonna win this with these 2 guys? Yeah, I'll take this. I'll take this. You guys are shooting at them, hopefully. And how are we doing on the Hepatoxatide? 28. Yeah, let's go loose formation. Why not? A lot of times I prefer to stay in close formation, just because you get more volume. You get more like concentrated firepower in a closer area, but yeah, that's okay. Alright, so again, let's make sure we turn these guys off of fire at will and go there. And oh shit, that's what was happening. They're not on fire. See, I hate that shit. Oh god, I hate that I have to like toggle back on and off because. Okay, yeah, continue to shoot at them. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get used to. It's hard. It's tough. But the thing is that if you send guys out to chase down routing units and you have, you know, guys with bows nearby, they're gonna shoot their own guys, like a lot of them. All right, continue to trade there, and now they're charging in the center. I mean, this is okay for us. They want to send peasants and 3 Limitani units at us. Cool. Cool story, bro. Yeah, let's just. I mean, slingers are starting to. Are you guys in range? Not quite, but let's just move. Yep. And yep, this is getting some javelins up here as well. And yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And let's go back into close formation. Here, it looks like we're pushing them off a little bit, so that's looking okay. Yeah, I like having taken some losses, but that's the way. That's the way it has to be sometimes. All right, can we get these guys without, like, maybe if I target there and, like, obviously I want to. All right, so they're not. Let's just turn them off. And let's just go here. Yeah, let's try to get as many of those guys as we can. And I don't mind you guys continuing to poke at those Hepatoxytai. That works for me. And yeah, we're going to be taking fire from the Eastern Archers, of course. This is going okay though. This is fine. Obviously, we're we know we're taking plenty of casualties to our Nomad Archer Cav. Oh shit! Here comes the bad guys. Can you guys get away? Yeah, try to get away here. And then what in the gosh darn are you doing? What the hell was that? Do my guys have that impetuous trait where people just charge? Do you guys have that? I did not know that. Well, that's bad. Oh shit, my guys are getting spears tossed at them. That sucks. Kind of just want to rout you guys off. As long as they get away safely. Where are you guys? Oh, you guys got away. Okay. Yeah, hopefully I should be faster than Hepatoxytai because they have armor on. So hopefully I can get away from those guys. Alright, how are things happening up here? What's the word? What's the word? Limitani are coming for my cav. Alright, that's not ideal. Let's see, that's okay, that's okay. And yeah, okay, so they shot down my guys, but I still think that we're gonna be okay here. Alright, Limitani, let's see here. Nice thing about javelins is they have decent melee stats, so if you're gonna charge any unit, charge my javelins. Yeah. Did you guys? Holy shit! They broke my infantry. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh right, that was unexpected. So let's stop messing around here. Let's send my Klebanari in, and then yeah, wow, Legio Lanciari just like chewed my guys apart. That was crazy. All right, so now you guys charged into the Legio Lanciari, I guess? Yikes. All right, well, let's get up here with those guys. And then, nope, let's just go here. And actually, you guys go after, nope, you guys just go after the Eastern Archers. Yeah, let's get those archers down. Because we'll clean this up, we'll figure it out. I know it looks messy, but we'll figure this out. Let's get Narcissus in here to break the backs of these Legio Lanciari. Can that be done? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Alright, so that's looking okay. And can we get these guys, or are they gonna beat us in melee? Because these are the units that I would love to get rid of. But they might beat us in melee. Let's get Narcissus up here as well. Yeah, can you guys... nope, you guys just gonna all die to archers? So we're sitting at 83% of the enemy killed, And I believe we have to get to 85% for us to wipe this army. So we're getting close. We're getting close. Where are we at now? 86. So this army should be wiped. But let's just be safe about it, and let's get as many units as we can just to be safe. There we go. So we got 995 kills, and we did lose 358 men. So nothing insignificant there in regards to our own losses, you know. We definitely took some knocks on our Nomad Archer Cav. It's tough. It's hard. It's hard to use them around other long-range archers. Like, that's tricky. In addition to, you know, their skirmish cav as well. Despite the fact that we had a clear advantage in our skirmish cav, you know, units, we took some losses for sure. So Klibadari Immortals got 101 kills. That's awesome. Let's see, Levy Spears 6 kills, Mountain Slingers 40 and 33. Yeah, that's not bad. That was just a couple volleys and they got some kills. And Nomad Archer Cav 115, 81 for Klibadari, 125 for Archer Cavalry. Let's see, Klibadari 64, 33 for Archer Cav, Klibadari 107, 96 and 59 for Archer Cav. Let's see, Archers got 47 and 43, Javs got 25, and Spears, yeah, Spears. I was shocked when those units on the left flank broke. That, yeah, man, Levy Spears. I guess I can get them boosted to get experience upgrades, so that's important. So, yeah. But that's good. I mean, getting rid of that little army there. So this is just a half stack, and I mean, I probably could push on and take Tarsus. Do we know anything about what's up here? Okay, yeah, that's right there. So that's. I'm glad that I looked because yeah, I think that I'll take this opportunity to. Can I bring these guys back? I can't. Okay.
Orders, sire.
I was hoping I could bring these guys back. All right, well, let's just merge what I can then. So I'll do that and then merge what I can here and then retrain. And then let's just recruit some archers. I feel like I need more archers. Although I've lost a lot of Nomad Archer Cav. So maybe it's better to get some of those. So I have two units essentially. Three units of Nomad Archer Cav. And do we know anything about these guys? Yeah, more Eastern Archers. How far can you get during the end turn? Can you get to that fort? You could. So you could, you know, reinforce him if they were going to attack this fort.
Orders.
So what do I need more? Do I need archers or Nomad Archer Cav? I think, let's just get some archers. Yeah, let's just do that. I do have these two archers. That is true. But I can train Nomad Archer Cav there, and they might be able to get to Antioch in the next turn. I don't know how far they can move, but they can move a ways. Now, let's just drop a save there, and then so you're going to continue to just place watchtowers. That's your job. I need vision on my land, and this is a weird part of the map here. It's hard to kind of know where you can go here. I think what you can do is you can go down here, and then I think you can come up here and then come around. And I think that this is an avenue here. So I control this, so there's not a good chance of anything coming this way to get me. So I guess I shouldn't be too worried about it, but I do still want.
No more moves.
So my land ends like along here, I think. So let's go ahead and place a watchtower.
Tower.
Yeah, that looks okay. Now we're faced with the question of whether or not we want to actually leave Sinope and attack this army that's right outside of Caesarea. It's very tempting. It's one of those situations where we could make Caesarea weaker to attack. The only unit inside of Caesarea is going to be this family member here, Numerius Flavius. No command traits, so not too threatening in that regard. The army is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary, honestly. 4 Limitani, right? And then we have 2 Legio Lanciari, 3 of the Eastern Archers, in addition to 3 more just basic archers. That's a lot of firepower. Now, there's no Hippotoxetai, so no skirmish cav, just the Equites Auxilia. And they don't look that great. 6 attack, 5 charge, 16 defense. I was comparing them to my like skirmish cav mercenaries that I've hired. So let's just look at that again. 6, 5, and 16. And then comparing them to, say, like my mercenary Hippotoxetai, 5, 8, and 13. So they're not that good. But then you have the 8, 9, and 15 for the mercenary Allen Horse Archers. So what, they would beat the Equites Auxilia in a melee. Then I have these mercenary Equites Veterani. Their stats are a little bit better as well. Mercenary Sarmatian Archers, their stats are better. Mercenary Allen Horse Archers. So these Horse Archer units have better stats than the Equites Auxilia. So that's their weak point. It's one of the situations where if I overwhelm their mobility, then I potentially can pick this army apart, but it's going to be so difficult to do while also trying to avoid all of the firepower from these 3 Eastern Archers and these 3 backup basic archers, you know? Because my army just has 2 Desert Archers, in addition to, you know, the Horse Archer units that I have. So we would just lose a straight out skirmish duel. And then they have their commutances as well. Like, these guys are thick. Look at that. 10 attack, 11 missile attack, 26 defense. That's insane. That's 10 armor, 10 defense skill, and 6 shield. Like, what can even beat that? I got nothing. And they got 3 of those? Like, I don't know. It's tough because I want to use this guy. I want to use his... He's like a 10-star general when he's attacking. With all of his bonuses, like, he's like a 10-star general. And the fact that he has a knight attacker as well, like, it's... I want to use him for sure. And there's a possibility that I could leave Sinope with this army, leave the 2 peasant units. I could attack this army. Maybe I could even hire some mercenaries, maybe even bring these guys into the settlement to keep the public order okay. I don't know if I want to take that fight though. Ugh, it's tough. What's available to hire?
March!
Anything?
My liege.
Nothing? Huh. Nothing's available to hire. I think that kind of makes my decision a bit easier.
March!
If they come out and attack me, I would rather do a sally out where I can put my archers up on the walls and try to kill their archers that way. I think that's a better way to go about it. I don't know, it's hard to say. The problem with a sally out is that I do only have those 2 foot-based archers that would be able to stand up on the walls and then fire down from those walls. Sure, I do have, you know, multiple units of horse cavalry, but believe it or not, you can't put the horse cav on the walls. I know, it's a shame. It's really too bad, but yeah, we just can't do it. Can't do it. So would this army be better fighting out on the open field? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. This doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm tempted to leave these guys in Sinope, and then I'm tempted to move these guys back a bit because, yeah, I'm tempted to move them just here so that they can't get.
Waiting to ambush.
Oh yeah, can actually ambush. Yeah, ambush stands. All right, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. See if they want to come at me. and then just see what happens. I have to remind myself, the thing is that despite the fact that I'm tempted to continue my momentum, you know, having taken these 2 settlements, I'm, you know, riding this high, right? This emotional high, everything feels good. But I have to remind myself that this success came from picking and choosing my moments carefully. This is how I got here, okay? And despite my temptation to push this advantage, I have to remind myself that I have to continue to pick and choose these moments. You know, like, say this army moves off in a different direction, boom, Caesarea is open. Say this army moves off in a different direction, boom, Tarsus is open. So, you know, there's these opportunities for us, because like I can do the same thing in Antioch that I can do for Tarsus. I can place a watchtower here and a watchtower here, block it off, and spend a turn or 2 taking Tarsus if I don't have any artillery. You know, what that requires though is to not have 2 armies here. That's the thing. That's the issue there. You know what? I think I'm going to change my mind about not building the elite cavalry stables here in Antioch. I want it, and I'm going to get it. The thing that's really turning me towards it is getting those Clibinari Immortals. I think, and I'm not 100% positive about this, but so those are the bodyguard units, right, for my characters. And this might be just wishful thinking, but do I get actual different, like, more characters by training those units? I think that I have heard that is the case, but I don't know, it's hard to believe that that's the case. I hope that's true. I hope it's true, because I want more guys that I can use to place down watchtowers right now. The thing with, you know, not having a lot of generals is that you're so strapped for guys, for manpower, that, you know, having men for governors and generals and just basic watchtower duty is tough. It's really stretching things thin. And then the Barbarian invasion campaigns, you know, for anyone that's not a Roman, I think you do have very limited family trees. So I think it would make sense if the bodyguard units do come with your own character. I really hope that that is the case, and I'm going to find out by building this elite cavalry stable. So hey, that still leaves me with, you know, almost $5.5 grand. That just felt silly hanging on to it. There's other settlements that I could build stuff in. I don't think, yeah, I can get the Royal Roads in Fraspa, and nothing else just seems too... Yeah, there's only a couple settlements that I'm not building stuff in. That's Artaxata and Arsacia. Everything else I am building stuff in. And then I'm not recruiting stuff in these back settlements because, again, it's just not... I would rather save that money to just continue to recruit stuff in my, you know, my frontier territories, right? Okay, I'm going to end this turn now. I'm nervous. This campaign is like walking a tightrope. All right, where are these guys going? They're going that way, and so are... Okay, wow, okay. They all look like they're going towards, like, my undefended frontier. This is promising. All right, betrothed Kira. Kira, I think you chose a good man. Sarosh, 16 years old. Already like him. 2 command stars, 1 management, and 2 influence. That's not bad for a 16-year-old. Let's see, obsessional trainer, so that's +1 morale and plus 10% to movement points. God damn! And sharp, yep, command, management, influence, positive. That's another +1 morale. Oh shit, this guy's great. Oh my god, this is gonna be my next in line. I'm gonna make him the heir, I think. Zoroastrian, yes. Oh no. No, Zoroastrianism no longer makes sense for this man as a response to the world. -1 morale. All right, okay, so that negates positive. But he still has that +1 morale from Obsessional Trainer. All right, well, that's... Yes, accept. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And, all right, we got 10 grand in the treasury. That's good. And Zoroastrian Temple is built in Sinup. That's good. Yep, get some stuff trained up. Sure. Marriage celebrations. Where are you at? You're here. Okay, you're outside of Sinup. Got it. Got it. Yeah, there's no room for you in there. Okay, wow, that's... Okay.
Sire!
So... There's a few things to keep in mind here. Are they coming around to target to get rid of these brigands? That's wishful thinking, I think. Because they sent him out as well. Like, all three of them went this way. So these two are here, and then there's that one from Caesarea. That's right. They just left Caesarea. It's just wide open. There's just that one character inside of it. So I wonder if I can place a fort right here. So you can't make it in one turn. That's unfortunate. You have a spy though. You have a 100% chance of getting inside. What are the walls here? Basic, those tier 3 stone walls. I wish we knew. Actually, yeah, let's we can do this. Let's go find them, and then let's see. Oh, he's too far away. Oh no, he's not. He could reach Caesarea. No shit. Okay, he could reach Caesarea.
Sire!
It's tempting to. I wonder if I place a fort down right here and just siege Caesarea from this side, but he could still get back in time. As long as he's like down here, then he could reinforce that fight, I believe. Gosh, it's tricky. It's tricky. This looks more promising because what I think I can do is I could probably rush out and just fight this half stack and then plop down a fort just basically right there, and then turn around and take Tarsus, which just has one unit inside of it. Or, I mean, I have Ballista. I think that's a better idea, actually. Is to... Oh shit, I just noticed there's Romans right outside of Antioch. What are you guys, 3 units? Oh, there's no way. There's no way you're taking Antioch. I barely have anything here, and there's still no way. As long as they don't, like, bring anything else up. That's...
Yes, my liege.
Alright, so there's like nothing seen up.
My liege.
4 units, including peasants.
At once. Yes, my liege.
Alright, so that's, yeah, I don't see it happening.
Moves, sir.
What about you guys? How far can you get? You can't get all the way there. And how far can they move? Can they get to the bridge? They cannot. Gosh, it's very interesting because the thing is that if they just keep going, like they could hit Hatra, you know, and then I'm just scrambling to get back. Or see, the thing is that the AI is very how should I say it? They're very what's the word? They try very hard to get around the forts. That's what I'm trying to say. They're very thorough. They look for all the different ways that they can get around, and this just might be them looking around. This might not be like a we have to take Hatra. This might be more of a we need to get on this fort to take Antioch. But with this ballista, we could take Tarsus. It's just the basic, I mean, it's the tier 2 stone walls. So it's not great, you know, in defense against these stacks. You know, the 2 of them together. See, that's why it's tempting. It's tempting to fight a half stack, you know, do as much damage as I can, plop down a fort, and take Tarsus. That way, that when these, you know, so if I were to just go in with my ballista and take Tarsus right now, then it's like me in a wooden walled settlement against basically a full stack, is what that would kind of feel like. Which feels like it's difficult. But if I, you know, basically wipe out half a stack, then take Tarsus after, you know, plopping down a fort, and then what, I have to fight another half stack later on? That seems better. Yeah, that, I like that better.
Shall die this day.
Let us bring my assassin back over here. Just, I need to remind myself of what the dealio is. What do you got? If I'm going to take this fight, I want to know what you have. So, I'm seeing 1 Equites Auxilia, 1 Peasant, 2 Legio Lanciari, and the rest of it's Limitani. Yes, 2 mystery units. Is that going to be the 2, no, it's a different army. Okay. That, based on what I'm seeing, that's a very beatable army. But then again, you know, that could be 2 Eastern Archers, that could be 2 Comitatenses, we just don't know. But can this army beat that? I think so. 2 Clibinari, 1 Clibinari Mortal, 3 Nomad Archer Cav, basically. And then, yeah, 4 Spears, an Archer and a half. I could hire stuff too. I'd probably do that. Yeah, I'd probably hire the Camel Raiders and the Mercenary Buklari, honestly.
Who shall die this day?
Okay, so let's...
I obey. No more moves.
And I could bring this Levy Spear. If I'm crossing this... You know, if I'm crossing this point here, I don't need a fort here anymore.
Orders.
So let's go ahead and hire those 2 units. Do I want to hire the Ballista? The Ballista's gonna slow me down, so I don't want it unless I know I'm going for Tarsus. And I, you know, like need to take it in 1 turn, basically. So let's get you guys there, and then you go there. And, okay, so we can get them. I was a little worried there for a second. Alright, so Hippotoxotai and Archers were the 2 mystery units. And that's just basic Archers. Honestly, I feel good about taking that down. So let's go crush them.
Many brave soldiers have seen the dawn. How many will see the sun sing in the west? How many of the enemy already pray for night? There is no shame in being scared, but fear should never be your master. Now cheer, you noblest of men, and sound the advance!
Unfortunately, we got a bit of forest on this map here, so that's going to be a bit tricky with my Cav heavy army going up against their infantry heavy army. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, Cav fighting in the forest, never a good idea. Never a good idea. Yeah, they get penalties to fighting in the forest, so it's it can be pretty rough. I wonder if they're retreating. It kind of looks like they're retreating. Sometimes armies just reposition themselves, but then sometimes they just book it and get the heck out of Dodge. Because they didn't already retreat once before this on the strategy map, so they could withdraw from this and be okay, I think. Which, you know, would be frustrating, but as long as I get to place down a fort in my position where I am right now, Although, if they retreat back to Tarsus, that would suck. That would ruin the entire plan. Sometimes there is weird retreat paths where armies can kind of retreat through armies, which is weird. That shouldn't be how that should work. They should be retreating away from the army that's just beat them. So hopefully they don't retreat back to Tarsus. That would really, really suck. That would just ruin the entire plan. Yeah, so that was just, they just retreated. So let's see what they did. I really hope they didn't go back to Tarsus. Come on.
Glorious victor!
Oh, they went back to Tarsus. That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Damn, damn, damn. I mean, I can still plop down a fort. So that part of the plan still works. Hopefully they can't get by that fort. I was worried about that too. I'm always like, can you get by that fort? They shouldn't be able to get by that fort, but yeah, that'd be a shame. I mean, I can just place it under siege, but I mean, that's going to be... So their ranged units are just the Hippotoxotai and the archer. That's not that bad, and my archers outrange their archers. So it's still winnable.
Sire.
I just have to leave one levy spear back here in this fort.
Sire. Orders. Sire.
And then
My liege.
come out, and so I can't get those ballista. I could get those here. So if I wanted to, I could reinforce with Shapur, get that ballista and bring him up, and then we could attack Tarsus right now. Do I want to do that? Or do I just build my siege equipment? See, the problem with, I don't know, gosh, it's hard to say, because he's probably going to turn around and then siege up that fort, which gives me a turn, but just one turn.
Orders.
So I probably should get him out and recruit that ballista in this territory and come assist in this siege, which is tough because Antioch's probably going to be, you know, put under siege itself, and it could use a leader for sure, but then again, against this, it doesn't need a leader probably. I also have these units that I can just bring out, and they can just hang out on the bridge.
March.
You can't reach the bridge? Yeah, you can't reach the bridge, so they could either assist in the next turn, or they could get into Antioch if they don't put it under siege. There's options there. I am very tempted to bring Shapur up with a mercenary ballista and then take Tarsus in this turn. I'm very tempted to do that. I could, as I was looking at before, I could recruit... I don't know if I want either of those two units, but some mercenary veterani. These are like some knockoff comitatenses. Actually, I don't know about... No, not knockoffs. They're better than comitatenses. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. There's units in this game that are actually better than their... Like mercenary units that are better than their counterparts. We saw that with the Equites Veterani as well. They were a little bit better than the Equites Auxilia available to the Romans. And yeah, the base comitatenses for the Eastern Romans have a defense of 26, or this is 27, and they have a 10 missile attack compared to the 11 for this unit. So yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that the mercenary units are better. And I think I want them. Sure, it's expensive, $12.30 to recruit them, but I mean, that's a unit that can, you know, mulch through anything here in a melee. And that can be handy in a siege battle, just to have a unit that can just mulch through anything in front of them. So if I just recruited that unit, that would leave me with 2 extra spots, and that's just enough room for Shapur and a mercenary ballista. But because siege battles do take a bit of time in this game, especially if you're going to do them methodically and do them right, and try not to take as many casualties as possible, it takes time to do. So I will be leaving that for the next episode. It's tough, I know. I want to do this too. I want to do it right now. I'm excited about this campaign and want to just keep going, but that's a lot of dudes in there that need killing. So that's going to take time. So before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. And I also have a channel membership, so you can also consider becoming a channel member as well. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Conostep playing Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion. Thank you very much, and goodbye.